My chosen one. This is not a random message. This is not a coincidence, and this is not something you were meant to hear tomorrow. On today, something shifted in the unseen realm. The line was crossed. I, Archangel Michael, crossed a boundary to warn you. That's right. You heard that right. That's right. I gave up my heavenly rank to bring you this message. Why? Because a ritual was done with your photograph and a black candle last night while you were unaware. Take a moment. Take a look at that. Your picture was put in front of a flame somewhere in a dimly lit room. There were words spoken. Your intentions were made public, and energy was sent your way. This did not happen by chance. This was intentional, calculated, and focused. And I'm speaking now because there isn't much time to break it. You may have felt the signs before midnight. All of a sudden, your chest feels heavy. Unusual tiredness that can't be explained. There's a strange tension in your home. Have negative thoughts over and over that don't feel like your own. Small arguments that get worse for no apparent reason. Electronics are not working right. Sleep was disturbed. Messed up dreams. It's not an accident. You must comprehend something of great power, my beloved. In a ritual, someone is trying to build a spiritual doorway when they use your photograph. Something that looks like you turns into a symbolic anchor in the black candle. It means the intention to drain, confuse, block, or pull energy down. But pay close attention. Unless you knowingly agree with it, nothing has authority over you. That's why I'm here. As that flame flickered next to your picture today, heaven recorded it. I saw it. Few angels would dare to make the decision I did while standing in that place in the spirit. When necessary, I intervene. The heavenly realm has rules and laws. Ranks and responsibilities are established. Direct interference without being asked is not common. However, I move forward because your calling threatens darkness, and your destiny carries weight. Since you are rising, you were targeted. This is why you were picked for disruption. You are about to break cycles. Remember the resistance you felt not long ago? The delay and the illogical obstacles. Then came the preparation. Before you did, the enemy saw movement in your life. If movement is sensed, opposition will act. But now for the shocking revelation. The ritual was not finished. Yes, the black candle was lit. They said the words. Your photograph was used by them. But there was a break in the final sealing of intention. I was that thing. Unnaturally, the flame flickered. The energy wouldn't stay steady. The words stopped being powerful in the middle. The room was filled with anger. They believed it was a mistake. It wasn't. It was divine interference. But, and this is important to hear, interference does not automatically mean that the attempt goes away. You have a window, a sacred gap, or a moment of authority. Now is that time. Before midnight, you have to consciously ignore every bad thing that is said about you. He did not act in fear or panic, but with authority. When you're ready, say this out loud. I cancel all rituals that were done with my image. I'm breaking any spiritual agreements that were made without my permission. There is divine protection over me. Do not whisper it. Say it. As you can see, the photograph stands for identity, and identity must answer identity. The false structure falls apart when you say who you are under heaven. I didn't put my heavenly rank at risk for fun. I didn't stand up to get attention. I came because your spiritual signature is very bright, and bright signatures draw both favor and attack. It's not about fear tonight. It has to do with awakening. You're not cursed. You are contested, and when something is contested, it means it has value. Take a look at your life. In what way has a breakthrough been quietly taking shape? Which opportunity has been getting closer? What kind of clarity have you been getting? Over emptiness, darkness doesn't do rituals. To potential, it responds. So before midnight, you have to pick awareness over ignorance, because ignorance lets doors stay open and knowledge shuts them. Now you know there's more you need to know about why this happened today in particular. The timing isn't a guess. The date has SPI ritual significance connected to cycles that were meant to reset in your favor. That's exactly why resistance tried to get in the way. What I'm about to say will show who is behind this, and why your name was called out with such an urge in that room. Get ready. You are closer to the truth than you think. Before we go any further with this revelation, I want you to ground yourself in this moment of awakening. Write these exact words in the comments below. I break every silence against my destiny. Do not say, I hope it breaks, or maybe someday. Say it now, with authority. When you write those words, you are not just making a comment. You are raising your voice in opposition to everything that is said in secret and in darkness. You are communicating to the unseen realm that you are awake and conscious. Now make your declaration and feel the shift as you send it in. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to say will explain why today was picked and why the ritual wasn't random, harmless, or an accident. The timing was planned. Today was the end of a spiritual cycle in your life that began months ago. In the unseen realm, a chapter was coming to a close, even though you weren't aware of it. Momentum is set by cycles. Doors either open or close when one cycle ends and another starts. In your case, an elevation door was getting ready to open. That's why resistance did something. Darkness looks at patterns. It looks at growth. It keeps an eye on you when your confidence starts to grow. When you begin to let go of old limitations, it can tell. That's how you've been thinking these past few weeks. Negativity has lowered your tolerance. Your intuition is stronger now. Things you used to accept without resistance are now being questioned by you. The attention was drawn by a change. An attempt was made to stop momentum from accelerating by performing the ritual with your photograph and the black candle. Not immediate destruction was the intention. You exhibited stagnation. Hold on. They would try to slow you down if they couldn't stop you straight away. Pay attention to the last few events. Did plans stop all of a sudden? Did communication break down for no reason? Feeling unmotivated for no clear reason? There were a lot of effects from that attempt. But here is the truth that they didn't expect. Their preparation is not as strong as your covering. The black candle symbolized absorption when it was lit. Black takes in light. It was a symbolic goal to take in your clarity, energy, and drive. But they didn't expect the source of your light to be so bright. Your strength does not come from just working hard. From above, it is being forced. That's why the flame couldn't stay steady. For minor problems, Archangel Michael does not intervene. When destiny has weight, intervention only happens. You are not being attacked because you are not strong. Because you are progressing, you are receiving attention. You need to understand something else. Access to emotion was necessary for the ritual. Rituals involving photographs frequently involve unresolved attachments, bitterness, fear, or guilt. They're like entry points for those emotional threads. Their work falls apart if they can't find anything to attach to. Self-awareness has power because of this. Ask yourself honestly, do you still hold on to anger that you haven't dealt with? Is there someone you still don't forgive? Can you think of a memory that makes you feel pain? They are not sins, those emotions. There are only openings there. They also block access when they are closed. Your authority is more important than your fear right now. Fear makes people try. Authority breaks them up. As you read this, tell yourself, I release every emotional cord that does not serve my destiny. When you say it, feel the change. Already, something is getting better. Now, be clear about this. The person doing this ritual might not openly hate you. Sometimes it's someone who thinks your progress is a threat. Someone will envy your growth from time to time. Someone may fear losing control over you at some point in time. This is not about paranoia. It has to do with discernment. But don't pay attention to the person. Pay attention to your positioning. Heaven answers when you answer. In the event that this message strikes a chord with you deeply, and you feel a sense of confirmation, do not keep it to yourself. Please share this video with others who may be feeling spiritual pressure to wake up. Write about how you feel. To continue receiving messages that raise your awareness, subscribe to and align yourself with this channel. It's not just interaction that makes you engaged. It makes the flow of truth stronger, which shows up hidden interference. Finally, wait for what comes next. It will explain why midnight is the exact time the deadline is. The timing isn't supposed to be symbolic. It makes sense. The transition is symbolized by midnight. Between cycles, it is the boundary. Anything that is sealed before midnight tries to stay sealed until the next day. However, authority changes when the timer runs out. This is why you need to be aware of your response before that threshold. You're not running away from fear. You are taking a step toward alignment. And now for the deeper revelation. It often works against you when an attack fails, the source of the energy that was sent without authority. Many people don't follow that law. Don't panic then. Keep your cool, because what they intended to use against you is about to become evidence of your protection. The next truth will show you how to permanently close this doorway so that someone else can't try to get in again. The next thing I'm going to say could completely change how you think about your recent problems. Keep your mind on it. The revelation is getting stronger. I want you to hear this with clarity in your spirit, because what I'm about to say is the turning point that will change everything in your favor. The time midnight is more than just a number. It is a spy ritual gateway. One dominion of time cedes authority to the next at this precise moment. At midnight, whatever intention is in play tries to move into the new cycle. Because of this, the ritual that was done last night was designed to start before the next midnight. It was an attempt to ride the wave of transition with a negative intention. But here's the secret they didn't know. More than intention, transitions boost authority. When you stand in fear at midnight, your fear gets stronger. If you stand in confusion, it gets worse. But protection is stronger if you are in divine alignment. That's why I stepped up. The intention was to mark you symbolically when that black candle burned next to your photograph. A photograph is a symbol of destiny, identity, and trajectory in spiritual ritual. The black candle symbolized suppression and interference in the ritual. It was said with words that were meant to slow down progress, make decisions harder, and make your environment more divided in a subtle way. They didn't see the mark that was already on your life, though. Before they tried to mark you, they sealed you. Your identity is not based on a picture. It is defined by writing from God. To whispers in a room, your destiny is not vulnerable. It comes from a higher authority, but your participation is still important. Right now is the time for sealing. Find a quiet place before midnight. Stand up straight. Say what you believe. All the rituals that were done against me are useless. I am the target of every intention. God's guidance and protection are with me. Do not speak too quickly. Feel them calm down. There is no structure to the energy when you say something with authority. Without agreement, it can't stay alive. And once the structure falls apart, the return starts. Get this powerful idea now. The person who did this ritual thought it would keep them from losing something. It was fear that looked like control. Your growth changes the way things work now. Hidden insecurity is made clear by your clarity. And insecurity acts when it feels like it is being shown. But pay close attention. Do not fight back. Don't worry too much about who it was. Being obsessed makes new chords. Instead, pull away. Being detached is a win. You need to understand another part of this. Today, there was a subtle alignment of cycles in your life that point to promotion. Not just status promotion, but also awareness promotion. You were about to see through the false ideas that had been blinding you. Soon, you'll be able to see yourself more clearly. For darkness, that awareness is more dangerous than material success, for the reason that awareness can't be controlled. There was a sense of urgency in this ritual because of this. It was not finished. Because it was not complete, it does not have any lasting authority. If you are firm tonight, you might notice something strange after you make your statement. The weight will go away. There will be a clearer atmosphere in your room. Sleep will get better. Thoughts will line up. This isn't making things up. It brings spiritual balance back to life. Now here's the promise. Protection gets stronger when an attack fails and the target is in awareness. Tonight you're not just stopping interference. Your spiritual perimeter is getting better. This strategy will not be used again. Once a doorway is closed on purpose, the same method cannot be used to open it again. Feel how important that is. You are ending a chapter for good. Right now, before this moment ends, I want you to put this into action. If this message confirms what your spirit already knew, type, "I take back all the lies that were said" in the comments. The blessing code 7319 is now being used on your life. Divine reversal, protection, and transition are all represented by this number. Be aware of this as this reversal occurs. It's not about a channel how this message gets spread. It's about awakening souls before they carry burdens that were never meant to be theirs. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go. Through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." Every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith, and as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. The unveiling keeps going. Right now, at this moment of sealing, I want you to say what you agree to. You can sign this spiritual agreement by typing "Amen" in the comment section below. You are standing with heaven against every evil intention, not just as a casual word. Feel the authority rising in your spirit as you write it. You can feel the weight leaving your shoulders. Saying yes to your protection, awakening, and everything else heaven is doing for you right now is the right thing to do. Write it now with all your might. As of late, some conversations felt tense for a reason that wasn't a coincidence. Interference rarely attacks you directly when it tries to connect itself to your identity. It goes through atmosphere and how people act. Its tone has an influence. It makes misunderstandings worse, and all of a sudden, simple words feel heavy. Small conversations may have turned into tension over the past few days without any clear reason. Your intention might have been misunderstood. It's possible that you didn't feel heard, or you may feel distance where there used to be ease. When subtle spiritual interference is unable to fully access you, it attempts to break up your environment. There were other people involved in the ritual that was done with your photograph besides you. The thing tried to mess up your relational field. Supports weaken when there is confusion around you. Momentum diminishes as support levels weaken. The strategy was that, but this changes everything. There can't be confusion after clarity. You are no longer reacting without thinking because you are aware. Being aware breaks down influence. In conversations, if you stay calm, don't add to the tension, and choose clarity over defensiveness, you stop the ripple effect that was supposed to grow. Pay attention to something important. There wasn't any natural tension in the air. It seemed over the top. People gave words more weight than they should have. The quiet was louder than usual. These are signs of increased emotion and energy. Amplification often happens when spiritual pressure is tried. Amplification, on the other hand, works both ways. Peace grows when you make it louder. Stability gets stronger when you increase it. That gives you power. Now, in the next few hours, you might feel like you need to talk to someone and help clear the air. Do it out of grounded assurance, not out of regret for something you didn't do. Tell them what you mean. Full listen. Say nothing else. As the interference weakens, you will notice that resistance falls off more quickly than you thought it would. You need to understand that something deeper is going on here. When destiny starts to speed up, relationships change. Some get stronger, some fade away quietly, some show their real alignment. Your recent experience wasn't just an attack, it led to exposure. There are people who vibrate with your growth, and people who vibrate with your past self. Don't be scared of this. It's not just battles that Archangel Michael does. Territories are made clear. Right now, your territory is being made clear. The ritual was meant to keep you stuck in an older frequency, younger identity, or older emotional pattern. You have grown out of that pattern, though. When you were feeling uncomfortable recently, there was resistance trying to pull you backward, but you didn't move backward. Some part of you refused to give up even in the midst of confusion. There was protection at work in that inner resistance. There is a powerful event going on in the unseen realm as midnight approaches again tonight. The unfinished ritual is coming apart completely. Losing coherence is the intention expressed over your image. It looks like a structure without foundation stones. It won't last long. As the hours go by, you might even feel lighter. You might feel an odd sense of calm. That's not a coincidence. There is a recalibration. Now pay close attention to this next revelation. The person who started this ritual thought it would have right away visible results. They were ready for you to feel immediate disruption. They were waiting for a reaction. When they don't see clear changes, doubt enters their mind, weakening their confidence in their own action. And power disappears when confidence levels weaken. No, you are not just safe. You are seeing the fall of something that never had the right to authority. You can also learn something from this. Don't forget how powerful your name is. The vibration of your name travels. It has an assignment on it. It holds identity. It was said during the ritual because of this. An attempt to influence a name's trajectory is made with words. However, your trajectory is set in stone and is not susceptible to human manipulation. However, you should still guard your name. Do not tell anyone about your plans too soon. Don't say what your next steps are until they are solid. Being quiet can be a strategy. Movement doesn't always need to be announced. The next few days will show small changes. Someone who seemed distant may show you kindness when you least expect it. In something that seemed stuck, you might experience sudden progress. Reversal in motion is indicated by these indicators. And really remember this: when there is a strong calling, there is a lot of testing before breakthrough. Because you are vulnerable, no one is trying to attack. You are being refined because you are moving forward. If your spirit is witnessing to this channel, if you feel the fog lifting and clarity returning, then I urge you to subscribe to this channel right away. It's not just following a platform when you hit the subscribe button, it's also following a prophetic flow. You are informing heaven that you want to stay under this covering of awareness and receive every revelation intended for your awakening. Subscription is alignment, and being aligned brings God's promises for your life to life. Do it right now, before time runs out. There is one more thing about your home environment that needs to be set up in a certain way for this protection to work properly. A lot of people miss this simple fact. You'll understand why the atmosphere in your space is more important than you thought once you know it. Get ready. There will be a practical, grounded, and life-changing revelation next. The change is already taking place. Because protection isn't just about blocking out external interference. There is something about your home that needs to be in alignment. It's about making the atmosphere inside stronger. A physical structure is only one aspect of your home. An energetic field surrounds it. Emotion is absorbed. That memory is there. It reflects the spiritual climate. The intention of a ritual performed with your photograph tries to connect with your identity and then spread to your environment. That's why you might have felt like some rooms were surprisingly heavy. There may be a spot in your space that feels empty. It's possible that sleep felt heavy. You might have felt restless for no clear reason. Attention affects the environment. It stays if you don't deal with it. It changes if you talk about it. Walk slowly through your house tonight before midnight. Not out of fear, but with authority. If you can, open the windows. Let fresh air flow through. If you have one, light a simple white candle as a symbol of clarity, not as a ritual. Bring peace into your space. Say, the protection of this house is in line. Only things that are good for me can stay here. Feel the difference when you speak from the heart. You must know something very important. Darkness tries to gain power through silence and secrecy. Secrecy is broken by spoken intention, though. Space is rearranged by sound. There is structure in your voice. The environment recalibrates to your level of certainty when you speak. No complicated action is necessary. Being in charge is easy. You might also want to get rid of anything in your home that holds emotional weight from the past. Painful memories are connected to old photographs. Things that are linked to conflict. Memory is energized. Subtle emotional cords can be released by removing physical reminders from the mind. This is not a belief in ghosts. In this case, both psychological and spiritual alignment are at work. Instead of feeling like resistance, your home should feel more like reinforcement. Let's hear this clearly. When interference is unable to connect directly, it may attempt to stay in the atmosphere for some time in the hopes that you will forget about it. Awareness must therefore become a habit. It's discernment, not paranoia. Watch how quickly peace comes back over the next few days. Pay attention to how your thoughts settle down. Look at how the clarity gets better. These are signs that the ritual is no longer complete. And now for the deeper revelation. Most of your strengths were shown by the attack. You responded with awareness. You were firm. Your authority was declared. Many people don't pay attention to the warning signs and let the interference continue. You didn't. In your favor, that decision has repercussions. There's something else going on that you might not see yet. As soon as a negative intention is stopped, positive acceleration usually happens next. The energy that was intended to fuel you is now momentum for delay. Soon, you might get news that you didn't expect, an opportunity, or confirmation that something you've been waiting for is getting moving. Don't just think it's by chance. Reversal leads to compensation. It was intentional for you to feel intimidated. This time, you were informed. Everything changes because of the shift. Archangel Michael fights battles, but not only that, he makes warriors stronger. You are being fortified right now too. Your spy ritual sensitivity has increased as a result of this experience. Now you'll feel shifts happen faster. You will notice manipulation more quickly. You will have a deeper trust in your intuition. That's growth. The person who began the ritual thought they could quietly influence your path. They weren't preparing for exposure. Their plans did not include an intervention or your awakening. In awakening, there is power. Your energy needs to be carefully guarded from now on. Limit sharing that isn't necessary. Keep your next move safe. Make your results more important than your plans. Peace can be a shield. Once more, midnight is coming up. Feel the difference between panic and peace. Now that you've heard this warning, notice how calm you are. Evidence that authority has replaced uncertainty is that calm. This is the last insight for this part of the revelation. Not every battle is meant to scare you. Some are meant to prove how well covered you are. You have more safety than you thought. The following layer will explain why there have been recent financial or career delays and how they relate to this interference attempt. The obstacles you thought were random will be reframed by what you are about to learn. Hold on. You're getting closer to the breakthrough than you think. Please pause and speak up in the spirit. Write Amen once more in the comments, but this time, let it be a statement that your home is clear, your relationships are restored, and your path is safe. There is no repetition here. This is reinforcement. The boundary around you gets stronger with each Amen. The enemy tried to get in, but each Amen shuts a door. As heaven reacts to your agreement, write it down right now and feel the atmosphere in your space change. Now we'll talk about something that may have annoyed you the most. Your money, your job, and your progress in the real world. Because spiritual interference usually goes after provision when it can't destroy identity or relationships. It makes an effort to put pressure on the material realm so that doubt starts to nudge the mind. Have you noticed delays with money in the past few weeks? Suddenly slowed down career opportunities, approvals or decisions that seemed promising. It's possible that a payment was put off. It's possible that an offer stopped. It's possible that motivation for a project dropped out of the blue. It wasn't just a bunch of bad luck. Discouragement was the goal, and they were successful. It's hard to spot discouragement. It doesn't scream, it drains. In order to create energetic stagnation, a ritual was carried out with your photograph. Delay in the physical realm is a common symptom of spiritual realm stagnation. There isn't a permanent blockage. There is just hesitation. It was designed to make you question timing and make you wonder if your path was incorrect. The truth, however, undermines that narrative. Delay is not the same as denial. What you thought was a setback was actually a containment. Your destiny could not be stopped by the incomplete ritual, but it might slow the flow for a short time until exposure happens. The containment is no longer needed now that awareness has come to the surface. It won't be long before you hear movement where there was silence. Unexpectedly, an email comes in. A conversation starts up again. It's like an opportunity comes back in a slightly different form. Keep an eye on it. Once interference loses its structure, momentum comes back quickly. Patience and discernment are also lessons to be learned here. Internal refinement accelerates when external progress pauses. Over the past few days, you've been getting stronger on the inside. Your resilience grew, your clarity sharpened, and your independence grew, even though you felt like things were stagnating around you. It was getting ready for acceleration. Archangel Michael does more than just watch over territory. For advancement, he makes sure that everyone is ready. You might have entered the opportunity or promotion with shaky feet if it had occurred during your confusion. You are now better grounded. Know something important. Clarity and belief affect financial energy. Flow is restricted when doubt enters. Flow begins when confidence is restored. That isn't blind faith, it's alignment. More than you may realize, your internal state has an influence on your external results. Your language should change tonight as you reflect on the delays. Do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Say, "What is being set up for me?" Language changes expectation and influence on manifestation. Engage with this message if it reveals patterns you have followed. If you can identify the delays and the subtle discouragement that tried to settle in, spread this frequency of awareness by liking this video. Give it to a friend or family member who is experiencing unintended stagnation. Tell others about your experience so they know they're not alone. Sign up and stay in touch, because clarity comes in layers, and the next thing that happens will finish the picture. Please pay close attention, because what is about to be said will explain why someone close to you felt your shift before you did. Now, pay close attention. There is someone in your circle who has been quietly observing your growth, not necessarily with bad intentions, but with the intention of comparison. Comparing things can lead to insecurity. Fear can turn into influence. Influence can lead to action. There was no stranger who doesn't know you who did the ritual. That meant getting access to your image and making an emotional connection. Awareness of the movement in your life was necessary. I cuts down the field. Do not, however, snap to accusation. Confrontation is not the issue. The issue is boundary. Boundaries keep progress safe. You will experience a natural urge to step back from some conversations in the coming days. Believe your gut. People who know your name do not have the right to full access. The right to access is a privilege, not an obligation. Your energy needs to be very selective now that you're in a new phase. This revelation comes to a powerful end with this. We're about to stretch you with something that was meant to shrink you. All of the emotional turbulence before exposure, including the financial delays, relationship delays, and emotional heaviness, was temporary tension. There has been exposure. The interference has begun to weaken. Speeding up is happening. The next truth will show you how to permanently shield your future milestone so that no other attempt can even come close to it. Get ready. You are stepping into a stronger shield of protection than you think. The news I'm about to give you has nothing to do with what happened last night. This article is about what will never happen again if you understand it, because protection is a continuous time-based action. What comes toward you and what stays away from you depends on your posture. A black candle and your photograph were used in a ritual to try to stop a rising season from happening. But the seasons don't just change where you are, they change the way you feel. Because you are reaching a new level of self-awareness, discipline, and spiritual authority, you were targeted. More powerful than any external action is that internal shift. Now, pay close attention. Prior to becoming visible, your future milestones must be shielded. A lot of people bash too early. They tell us too soon. They let people know about plans as they are being made. External opinions can disrupt an intention's structure when it is still fragile. Secrecy is not guaranteed in every phase. It's all about strategy. From now on, make sure your next move is safe until it can stand on its own. Validation from people who can't see what you see is not required. Your growth isn't meant for everyone to understand. Some people are only meant to see it after it happens. The doorway that was tried to be opened against you can now be closed for good. Increase your internal certainty. When you're sure, manipulation can't happen. As long as you are clear, confusion can't settle in. Discipline prevents delay from ruining your courage. The ritual that wasn't finished yet fell apart because it didn't have enough authority. However, because you are increasing awareness, your future is safe. Being aware is armor. There's something else that needs to be dealt with. Your fear is a memory. Fear of some dangers lingers as anticipation of danger even after danger has passed. In your next chapter, do not include any anticipation of attack. That anticipation can bring back tension in a subtle way. Let it go all the way. I move forward, without expectation of interference. You should tell yourself, enjoy the freedom in that sentence. You're not on fragile ground. You are traversing territory that has been forced. Archangel Michael intervened because your trajectory includes more than just personal success. More people than you think are under your influence. Your energy moves through rooms. Your decisions affect the decisions of others. That is why the opposition acted right away. Before expansion becomes visible, the enemy prefers to disrupt. But what they tried too soon has now made you stronger. Think about this carefully. You would have experienced growing financial instability, relational fracture, stagnation, and loss of direction if the ritual had been successful. Instead, you experienced short-term turbulence followed by a revelation. There is evidence of divine override in revelation. Yours is a lesson in vigilance as well. Pay attention to your intuition. In the future, pause and take note of anything that seems strange. Your instincts are right. Due to this experience, your discernment has improved. You may also notice that some individuals start to naturally distance themselves. Let them. There are times when a separation is not loss, but alignment. Compatibility changes as frequency changes. People shouldn't shrink this season to keep other people comfortable. It's about becoming more stable in who you are becoming. Absorption and suppression were symbolized by the black candle. Now, though, something else is starting to burn inside you. Clarity and expansion. It's hard for that inner light to flicker. With attention, it gets stronger. Implement small, consistent habits that will support your growth over the next few days. Have an intention when you awake. Get your space in order. Make your goals clear. Discipline is SB ritual reinforcement. You are less vulnerable to external noise as a result. And now, for something deep. Whenever protection goes up, opportunity follows. For the reason that the universe responds to stability. Doors open quicker when your field is clear. Watch out for invitations you didn't expect. Keep an eye out for conversations that feel natural and not forced. The momentum is coming back. There is no covering for you. You are moving forward. This experience was not just about defense. It was also about initiation, as will become clear in the final layer of this revelation. It wasn't just bad things that kept you safe. Everything has changed since you were brought into higher awareness. Now get ready, because what's coming next will show you how to turn this whole thing into long-lasting spiritual authority that can't be shaken. Someone in your life is currently going through a tough time that they don't even fully understand. They can feel the weight. The stagnation is clear to them. They don't have the words yet, though. You're not just sending this video to other people. You're also extending its reach. As someone else's midnight approaches, you are becoming a vessel of awakening. When this message is sent out, the anointing on it grows. Share it now and send it to the person who came to mind. As you become a bridge for someone else's freedom, your own breakthrough will speed up. You didn't just experience protection from harm, though. The initiation into authority was this. If you are rescued, that is not the same as being commissioned. Rescue takes away the danger. By commissioning, responsibility is given. And what happened around today wasn't just meant to shield you from a ritual. In the unseen realm, it was about revealing who you are. It wasn't just to stop interference when Archangel Michael intervened. It was meant to show that you now comprehend the principles of spy ritual. Through atmosphere, relationships, and provision, you have seen how subtle intention tries to move. For you, the change from confusion to clarity has been felt. No one else can take that awareness away from you. Now, this is a moment. You may have felt spiritual pressure before this point, but didn't know what it meant. You can now see patterns. Identity must be declared. You are aware of this. You recognize that the atmosphere needs to be maintained. You are aware that boundaries can be used as a strategy, and that momentum can be preserved by silence. That knowledge makes you better. Something very important is going on below the surface. The spiritual hierarchy changes when an attack fails, and the target finds out. You are no longer considered to be in unfamiliar territory. As guarded ground, you are known, and interference is less likely to happen there. This is why you might feel a little stronger. Your posture is different now. You feel like your thoughts are more stable. Your reactions appear to be slower and more intentional. It's harder to get you angry now. Evidence of initiation is this composure. You were supposed to stop your rising influence with the ritual with the black candle. Instead, it sped up your awakening. Your magnitude has been revealed by what was meant to keep you small. Now, pay close attention, because this is very important. When authority is used, it grows. Please don't go back to passive living. Keep speaking alignment over your life on a regular basis. Clear emotional cords as soon as possible. Keep intentionally guarding your environment. The forced perimeter is kept in place by small, regular acts of awareness. Soon, you will feel tested again, but not in the same way last time. Composure tests, not attack tests, will be used. You might face subtle provocation. Someone might try to get you involved in an unneeded conflict. Watch instead of reacting. Situations will be resolved more quickly by your calm response than by confrontation. In action, this is what authority looks like. And now for the deeper revelation. That person who tried the ritual will know it didn't work. Internal unrest may be present. They might become more distant. In order to gauge your emotional state, they might even try an indirect conversation. Keep your inner process hidden. Just keep your balance. People who want a reaction are confused by stability. You are about to enter a time when your growth will be more visible. It won't happen all at once, but it will happen slowly but surely. The flow of money will level off. Relationships will become clearer. There will be more creative ideas. The drive will get stronger. This is not a mistake. Compensation has been provided. Now, intentionally hold on to this moment. If you feel the shift inside you, type 1, walk in divine authority, in the comments. There is now blessing code 8451 over your path. In this case, this number means commissioning after protection and elevation after exposure. You become aware of something sacred as this commissioning settles in. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself, Jesus says. This is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You have not entered into a symbolic initiation. It has a measurable component. You'll start to see evidence that this event drew a dividing line in your life over the next 12 months. There will be a clear before and after. When you look back, you'll see that the ritual you did with your photograph was your last attempt to hold on to an old version of yourself. That version is no longer around. When pressure makes a cycle close and you stand firm instead of falling apart, your structure changes in a way that can't be undone. You become more intentional, less reactive, and less easily shaken. Every decision you make going forward will be subtly influenced by that internal shift. You might feel it already. More seriousness about your time, a decreased tolerance for distractions, clearer understanding of who should have access to your energy and who shouldn't. There is no isolation here. We call it refinement. There won't be chaos in the next 12 months. Alignment will establish them. Prior to addition, alignment frequently necessitates subtraction action. Because they don't fit your trajectory, some opportunities will go away. The intensity of some connections will naturally weaken over time. Do not think of this as a loss. Think of it as a recalibration. It wasn't just to stop interference when Archangel Michael intervened. It was to clear the field for what comes next. Old entanglements cannot be brought into new territory. They'd make you feel bad. Please pay close attention to what I say next. It was thought that your rise would threaten their stability, that they started the ritual. But your rise was never meant to make people afraid. It was meant to move and inspire. Some people get growth and abandonment mixed up. You evolve. and they feel left behind. However, you are not responsible for shrinking to comfort others. You are responsible for developing into the person God designed you to be. Your consistency will be tested more than your courage during the upcoming cycle. It took courage to get through the exposure. You will get through expansion if you stay consistent. Every day, work on your own progress. Do not wait for motivation to show up. With discipline, you can build momentum that emotion alone can't. What happens to you is also a powerful change in your intuition. Your internal voice has become more pronounced since the ritual revelation. Pay close attention to subtle nudges. Pause if you want to delay making a decision. Trust your gut, and act quickly if you have the courage. The pressure has refined your discernment. Sometimes stress doesn't break you. It calibrates you from time to time. Watch for gradual strengthening rather than a sudden explosion when it comes to money. You will benefit more from steady growth than from dramatic change. Carefully lay the foundations. Steer clear of impulsive commitments. The following phase favors wisdom over speed. Expect clarity in your relationships. It will be easier to understand conversations that were hard to understand before. You're going to be more direct. Some people will answer more honestly. The fog that was there before will go away now that you don't allow ambiguity. From a spiritual point of view, your authority will not feel forced, but natural. No need to prove strength is required. You are just going to embody it. And now for the deeper thought. It wasn't that you fought harder that the ritual failed. It was that your alignment was stronger. An invisible power is alignment. It doesn't need any noise. It just stands. You will remember this experience at different times over the next few months. Do not fearfully relive it. As evidence of protection, keep in mind, while you were unaware, it will remind you that you were covered. Your confidence will grow in the face of future uncertainty because of that memory. One more revelation must be made. It has to do with why I said I would risk my heavenly rank to bring this message. It wasn't dramatic language in what you said. There was meaning in it. Only when a person's ripple effect affects more than just that individual does intervention at this level take place. You are making more than just your own path. You are quietly affecting other people. Someone else is held down by your stability. Someone else is helped by your clarity. Someone who is quietly watching you will gain courage from your breakthrough. The urge to try came from this, and this is why the urge to warn was given. The magnitude of your influence and how to steward it without getting tired will be explained in the next and final reveal. Get ready. There is no defense in the last revelation. It is about destiny. You now understand why I said I would risk my heavenly rank to give you this warning. It wasn't because the ritual was the most powerful thing that had ever been done. It was because of the timing and how your life was affected. There are times in a person's life when their decisions have a much bigger influence than just their own future. Right now, you're in one of those times. Your life is not alone. It's linked to networks that you might not even notice. You can find spiritual communities, family lines, friend circles, and professional spaces. You unconsciously create a mission for others to rise when you increase your awareness and stability. Breaking cycles means ending patterns that have been going on for longer than you think. That's what influence means. And having influence gets people's attention. An urgent attempt was made against you because your breakthrough is almost here. A measurable shift, not a hazy someday breakthrough. Your trajectory will change significantly in the coming months as a result of the decisions you make, what you build, where you live, and how you work. You won't be the only one impacted by these decisions. People who depend on your clarity will be hurt by them. In order for confusion to work, you would have stopped at a key point. A moment of hesitation could have changed many outcomes. That's why there was intervention. Now pay close attention. Keeping your influence in check takes discipline. You can't emotionally hold on to everyone else. There are too many people who feel left behind for an immediate rescue. You can't give an explanation for every change you make. Some leadership looks more like quiet focus than loud announcement. Intentional yes and firm no are required during this season. It will drain you to take on too much. You'll weaken if you undervalue yourself. Your protection is in balance. The temptation to prove something to those who doubted you will also exist. Hold off on that urge. The energy drain of proof is considerable. Arguments don't work. Insecurity was tried to be a part of your identity in the ritual using your photograph. Before you fully took on your role, it tried to make you question your authority. However, insecurity cannot endure prolonged clarity. You're also more clear than you've been in a long time. Hold on to that clarity. Review your upcoming significant decisions slowly in practical terms. Say a prayer over it. Think about it. Only seek counsel from people who have shown stability. Avoid getting advice from people who react emotionally. The next thing you do needs to be grounded. Engage with this revelation with intention if it is in line with your experience and you feel like you are at a pivotal turning point. Like this video to raise awareness among those who are at critical crossroads before confusion strikes. Someone who has felt targeted or delayed should hear about it. Your commitment to walking in clarity should be noted. Because what you are doing needs constant reinforcement, please subscribe and stay connected to this channel. You should pay close attention because what I'm about to say will seal this message with a statement that sets the tone for the next season. Knowing you are safe without being asked for is sacred. Unseen covering inspires trust. When future uncertainty arises, that trust will hold you steady. There won't be as much panic. The worst-case scenarios won't come as easily to you. You will remember this moment and know that even attempts that are not seen can be intercepted. The coming days will feel different. They won't be chaotic or dramatic, just steadier. You'll have clear direction when you wake up. It will make you feel less scattered. More weight will be added to your conversations. Your time will seem more valuable. You will remember this experience at different times over the next few months. Do not fearfully relive it. As evidence of protection, keep in mind, while you were unaware, it will remind you that you were covered. Your confidence will grow in the face of future uncertainty because of that memory. One more revelation must be made. It has to do with why I said I would risk my heavenly rank to bring this message. It wasn't dramatic language in what you said. There was meaning in it. Only when a person's ripple effect affects more than just that individual does intervention at this level take place. You are making more than just your own path. You are quietly affecting other people. Someone else is held down by your stability. Someone else is helped by your clarity. Someone who is quietly watching you will gain courage from your breakthrough. The urge to try came from this, and this is why the urge to warn was given. The magnitude of your influence and how to steward it without getting tired will be explained in the next and final reveal. Get ready. There is no defense in the last revelation. It is about destiny. You now understand why I said I would risk my heavenly rank to give you this warning. It wasn't because the ritual was the most powerful thing that had ever been done. It was because of the timing and how your life was affected. There are times in a person's life when their decisions have a much bigger influence than just their own future. Right now, you're in one of those times. Your life is not alone. It's linked to networks that you might not even notice. You can find spiritual communities, family lines, friend circles, and professional spaces. You unconsciously create a mission for others to rise when you increase your awareness and stability. Breaking cycles means ending patterns that have been going on for longer than you think. That's what influence means. And having influence gets people's attention. An urgent attempt was made against you because your breakthrough is almost here. A measurable shift, not a hazy someday breakthrough. Your trajectory will change significantly in the coming months as a result of the decisions you make, what you build, where you live, and how you work. You won't be the only one impacted by these decisions. People who depend on your clarity will be hurt by them. In order for confusion to work, you would have stopped at a key point. A moment of hesitation could have changed many outcomes. That's why there was intervention. Now pay close attention. Keeping your influence in check takes discipline. You can't emotionally hold on to everyone else. There are too many people who feel left behind for an immediate rescue. You can't give an explanation for every change you make. Some leadership looks more like quiet focus than loud announcement. Intentional yes and firm no are required during this season. It will drain you to take on too much. You'll weaken if you undervalue yourself. Your protection is in balance. The temptation to prove something to those who doubted you will also exist. Hold off on that urge. The energy drain of proof is considerable. Arguments don't work. Insecurity was tried to be a part of your identity in the ritual using your photograph. Before you fully took on your role, it tried to make you question your authority. However, insecurity cannot endure prolonged clarity. You're also more clear than you've been in a long time. Hold on to that clarity. Review your upcoming significant decisions slowly in practical terms. Say a prayer over it. Think about it. Only seek counsel from people who have shown stability. Avoid getting advice from people who react emotionally. The next thing you do needs to be grounded. Engage with this revelation with intention if it is in line with your experience and you feel like you are at a pivotal turning point. Like this video to raise awareness among those who are at critical crossroads before confusion strikes. Someone who has felt targeted or delayed should hear about it. Your commitment to walking in clarity should be noted. Because what you are doing needs constant reinforcement, please subscribe and stay connected to this channel. You should pay close attention because what I'm about to say will seal this message with a statement that sets the tone for the next season. Knowing you were safe without being asked for is sacred. Unseen covering inspires trust. When future uncertainty arises, that trust will hold you steady. There won't be as much panic. The worst-case scenarios won't come as easily to you. You will remember this moment and know that even attempts that are not seen can be intercepted. The coming days will feel different. They won't be chaotic or dramatic, just steadier. You'll have clear direction when you wake up. It will make you feel less scattered. More weight will be added to your conversations. Your time will seem more valuable. When influence is recognized and stewarded correctly, this is what happens. The final revelation will not warn you of danger. It will put you on a mission. The question of what you will do with the territory you have secured arises once protection has been proven. Get ready. Your next 12 months' atmosphere will be determined by the closing statement. It wasn't just safety that you got. You took back territory. Territory always requires stewardship. You are standing on ground that has been made clear with intention now that the interference has been shown, blocked, and broken up. No longer do I want to know who tried to hurt me. Now the question is what I will build on this safe land. This is the line between maturity and reaction. A lot of people celebrate protection, but they don't change how they act afterward. Old patterns are returned. They talk too much. Intuition is disregarded. The cycles repeat. However, after what you have experienced, you cannot go back to living in the unconscious. You've seen how energy moves in the background. Identity must be declared, as you have seen. The way atmosphere reacts to authority has been shown to you. You need to act like you know now. There will be opportunities that push you past your comfort zone over the next 12 months. In ways you didn't expect, you may be asked to take on leadership roles, influence rather than formal titles. More people will want to hear your point of view. They are going to ask for help. What they will look for is stability when things are tense. I'm not making this up. Having confidence comes from being able to stand firm when pressure is applied from behind. Some people feel it. It's something they trust. They seem to be drawn to it. There is a warning in the commission, though. Be careful not to let your responsibility become a burden. It's not your job to carry everyone. You're called to influence them. You are called to lead, not to take on the weight of every emotion around you. In this new season, boundaries will be very important. You need to learn how to know when to talk and when to be quiet. Your intervention is not always necessary in battle. Not all disagreements need your opinion. Authority can look like moderation at times. This transition also contains a financial lesson. Opportunities to profit will grow as your influence does. Don't, however, jump at every opportunity. Some will look good, but the distractions will be bad. Aim for alignment instead of urgency. Always keep in mind that the ritual was meant to cause hurry and confusion. Are you in a hurry because you want to get back? Move slowly. You may also notice that your environment is lighter now than when you first got this message. That's because the partially built structure that tried to attach itself has now completely fallen apart. It doesn't have any more anchors, and the person who started it is already feeling out of balance inside. It goes back to its source when intention fails. You don't need to keep an eye on them. You don't have to talk to them. Their lesson is happening without you having to do anything. The future is your responsibility. Archangel Michael doesn't fight battles to keep you in survival mode. He fights for your advancement, and advancement necessitates clarity about purpose. What have I been delaying out of subtle fear? You ask yourself quietly. What step have I been putting off because I doubt the timing? What vision have I dimmed to dodge attention? It's time to think about those questions again. Due to the fact that protection has made room for expansion, you will occasionally long for the comfort of lower expectations. Sometimes growth can make you feel alone, but keep in mind that loneliness is frequently the space between old alignment and new community. As your frequency stays steady at this higher level, new connections will form. Believe in the process. Don't worry about being late. Damage is not being fixed. You are entering territory that has been prepared for you with intention. The last statement that comes next will end this whole journey with a prophetic command for your next season. The point won't be to warn. It has to do with freedom. You are now trained, alerted, aligned, and positioned, having gone from being targeted to being trained. Right now, you are ready to be activated. Get ready. What comes next will be set by the last words. My true friend, this is the moment of sealing. What started out as an urge to warn on today is a divine confirmation of who you really are. Your photograph and a black candle were used in a ritual. There were words spoken. Intentions were set free. There was a midnight deadline, but none of them were met. You were better at covering than they were, not because their attempt was weak. Long before you were warned in the visible realm, you were observed in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael didn't just walk forward. Only when destiny has generational weight does intervention at that level happen. It's not a small life. Your obedience is not unique. Your breakthrough will be heard by people outside of your immediate circle. It was never just about a curse. It was a calling. You were supposed to see what happens when darkness tries to get in the way but fails. The change from heaviness to authority was meant to feel real to you. Your voice breaks down structures that were never meant to stand in your way when it is aligned. The window of midnight has passed, but you are still sitting there. The ritual is no longer happening at all. The intention has become clear. The atmosphere around you has changed. What was meant to weaken you has made you stronger. What was meant to scare you has now scared you. That which was meant to delay you has now put you in place. Reversal occurs here. From now on, the way you walk will be different. In awareness of authority, not fear of attack. Instead of looking for danger, they stay grounded in their discernment. You will keep your plans safe until they are ready. Without guilt, you will guard your energy. No longer will you act on impulse. You will move with discipline. Here is the prophetic message for the next 12 months. Speeding up with stability. Although not chaotically, doors will open. Good chances will come along, but not with a lot of confusion. Things will line up in relationships, but not with tension. There will be no validation for you. For other people's comfort, you won't shrink. For growth, you won't say sorry. You will build on land that is safe. If this message confirms what your spirit already knew, then seal it now. Feel free to send type 1 am sealed and sent in the comments as proof of your authority. Now the blessing code, 9001, is over your life. In times of protection, this number stands for completion, commissioning, and divine acceleration. Now, pay close attention to this last instruction, which is clear. There are still people who are unaware of what is pressing against their lives, just like this warning got to you before midnight. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work, through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give, and it will be given to you, is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. Everything that heaven has done right now is okay with you. Second, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. What comes next will build on this foundation, and you can't miss the next stage of your awakening. You can stay in touch with the prophetic stream that is flowing for your life by subscribing. Third, please show this video to other people. Share it with your family, friends, and people in your network. Without realizing it, some of them are currently in darkness. Your share turns into their mourning. The anointing on your life gets stronger when you share this message. As your last act of obedience, please like, subscribe, and share right now. Then, go forward knowing that you are sealed, sent, and never alone. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected, high-vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate, early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.